Hello everyone. In last class we learned different forms of a democratic government, that is parliamentary form of the government and presidential form of the government. Then this government is classified in another way as well, that is unitary form of the government and federal form of the government. And we can see what are unitary form of the government and what is federal form of the government. Okay, first one, unitary form of the government. In a unitary form of the government, there is only one government, that is central government. Unitary means one form of the government, that is central government. All the powers are in the hands of central government. There is no power for the state government in the unitary form of the government. Okay. But in the federal form of the government, there is a dual government. There is two government, that one is central government and another is state government. Okay, and the powers are divided between the central government and state government. That is the difference between unitary form of the government and federal form of the government. Clear? Then we can see what are the characteristics of unitary form of the government. The first characteristic is the center is stronger than state. That means the central is given more powers than state. Here only central government is there. All the powers are in the hands of central government. So the central government is stronger than state. The second one, the center has more financial control than the state. That means all the financial statements are controlled by the central government. All the financial aspects are controlled by the central government in the unitary form of the government. There is no role in the financial matters for the state government. Okay, state government is only a secondary, or the full power is in the hands of central government. Then third one, the central government can take all the powers of the state government. That means there are certain emergency provision in the type of government. That means when the central government, all the powers are in the hands of central government. There is no power for the state government. So central government can take all the powers of the state. The next one, the center is given an edge on subject mentioned in the concurrent list. What is concurrent list? Concurrent list means a list of rules, powers is written in our constitution. That is known as concurrent list. Okay, so it is written in our constitution, so all the government should follow these rules. It is written in our constitution. So the center is followed the concurrent list, or central government followed the concurrent list or common list. The powers of the central government and state government are shown separately in the concurrent list. Okay. Then last one. Residuary powers vested with the center and not with the state. What is residuary power? Yes, the power of making law. So the power of making law is also vested to the central government, not with the state government, because state government has no power in the unitary form of the government. Only the central government has the power. So the power of making law is also vested with the central government. Clear? We move into federal form of the government. What is federal form of the government? Yes, there is a dual government. One is central government and another is state government. Then we can see what are the characteristics of federal form of the government. First one, there is a clear division of powers between central and state. We know that in a federal form of the government, there is a two government, central government and state government. And the powers of central government is clearly divided. Okay, both are independent. Both central government and state government are independent and the powers are also different. Okay. Then second one, the constitution is both rigid and written. In a federal form of the government, all the powers of the central government and state government are in written form. It is rigid. They cannot change. It is a written rules and both the government should follow that written rules in the constitution. Clear? Then next one. There is an independent judiciary to decide the cases between central and state. We know that both the central government and state government are independent and the powers is also divided between the central and state. So there is an independent judiciary also. What is judiciary? Yes, the courts. So there is a separate courts for the central and state government to uh, solve the cases, to solve the problems. Okay. The last one, as in USA, the residuary powers are belongs to center rather than to the state. In a federal form of the government also, the powers of making law is vested to the central government. The state government has secondary power for making a law. Making law is vested to the central government in federal form of the government also. Okay, so these are the various characteristics of unitary form and federal form of the government. And we can see next what are the features of democracy. We learn what is democracy. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. And we can see what are the features. It is very easy one. What are the features of democracy? Formal equality, freedom, decision-making mechanism, active participation of the citizen, accommodation of differences. Then one more is there, enhancing human dignity. So these are the features of democracy and we can discuss one by one. First one is equality. What is equality? Yes, all people are equal before law. In a democracy, all citizens are equal irrespective of their caste, creed, color, faith. There is no discrimination on the basis of caste. There is no discrimination on the basis of color, on the basis of religion. Okay, all citizens, all people are equal before law in a democratic form of the government. And all, not only in this case, all the public offices are also open for all the people. There is no discrimination or there is no partiality for these cases in a democratic form of the government. That is why democracy is preferred by all countries. Okay, but in a dictatorial form of the government, all the powers are in the hands of that ruling class. Okay, and people can act according to the whims of these rulers. Okay, so that is why people hate this dictatorship ruling and people likes this democracy. Then next feature is freedom. What is freedom? People have full freedom to express the opinion fearlessly. Okay, there is no restriction to express their opinion. In a democratic government, people have the freedom to express their opinion, but in a dictatorship, we know that people have no freedom to express their opinion freely. They must act according to the dictates of rulers. So, in a democratic form of the government, there is full freedom to the people. Then third one, decision making mechanism. There is a definite decision making mechanism which is in the hands of people. That means government is not run according to the whims of the ruler. Government is run according to the opinion of the people. There is a definite decision making mechanism for the hands of people. People can express their opinion fearlessly. Okay, so people elect one representative or people elect one leader, and that leader should consider the people's needs. Okay, and the majority party of the parliament form the government and which governs the country, but according to the will of the people. If any government fails to serve the people, then the people have full freedom to change the government in next election. How they can change the government? By voting to another party. Okay, so people have full freedom to express their opinion freely and they can form the government. People form the government and also people have full power to remove that government also. Okay. The next one, active participation of the citizen. In a democracy, we can see that people can stand, citizens can stand any post at a candidate for any post like prime minister's post, president post, minister's post, etc. There is a full freedom to stand at any post, but they must need a majority. Without majority, they can't stand at any of these posts. Okay, so they can stand at any post, but in a dictatorship, they cannot stand any post. And in a dictatorship, the people needs the mercy of the dictator, a mercy of the leader, and that is why people hate dictatorship. Why? That is why democracy has become popular in the modern world. Okay, people have full freedom to stand at any post. Okay, the next is accommodation of differences. In a democracy, nothing is imposed on the people. Okay, the people of their representative can express their differences freely. There is nothing is imposed on the people, and they must act according to the needs of the people. Okay, and there are some opposition parties in the parliament or legislature, and they oppose the government at every point. Okay, but we know that in a democracy, democracy is based on the majority rule. If any bill is passed, they need 50 percentage or more than 50 percentage majority. Otherwise, that bill is not passed. Okay, so there is any problems between this majority party or the minorities and these oppositions in the government should solve the problems very peacefully, settle these problems very peacefully. That is why the democracy become popular in the modern world. Okay, then one more is there, but enhancing human dignity. We know that it is only in democracy that liberty, equality, and fraternity is ensured. Okay, so we learned earlier that in a democracy, not only political liberty is ensured as a economic field. Not only in the liberty is not only for the political field, it is for the economic field. So all class of people should get the benefits. All class of people considered as equal. Okay, and so because of this economic liberty, economic equality, economic fraternity, the poor people also protected. Okay, so for example, in some backward classes is the backward classes people, Sadar, and the government provides some reserve seats for these backward classes people. In the case of education, also some seats are reserved for the educational level. Uh, and some in the case of job, some government jobs seats are reserved for these backward classes. Okay, why they are reserved for these seats for these backward classes? In order to increase the in order to for the upliftment of these poor people. Okay, for the development of these poor people. In order to improve the condition of these poor people, that see those is a reserve. That means in a democracy there is a economic liberty, economic equality, fraternity can be ensured. So enhancing human dignity is possible only in democracy. Okay, so because of these features, democracy become popular in the modern world. Okay, and you know how this democracy is developed between these people. It is from the roots of panchayats. We learned that local government, that is panchayat, and those panchayat is one of the stepping stone of this democracy. First people participate in those panchayat, and from this panchayat they learn the roots of democracy. Okay, so please read this portion. Thank you.